This is a News 10 breaking news alert.
We are interrupting programming to update a story we broke on the WILX app today. Michigan State University President Samuel Stanley announced he is resigning in 90 days. He says he no longer has confidence in the university's Board of Trustees. Here's the message he released online late this morning.
Earlier today, I gave my contractually required 90-day notice of resignation to the Board of Trustees of Michigan State University. I know very well from the outpouring of support that I've had from students, staff, faculty, shared governance, alumni donors, affinity groups, and others, that many of you will be profoundly disappointed by this decision. But I, like the Michigan State University Faculty Senate and associated students at Michigan State University, have lost confidence in the action of the current Board of Trustees, and I cannot, in good conscience, continue to serve this board as constituted. This was not an easy decision, because we as a university have come so far and accomplished so much these past 3 years. Together we came through what I hope history will record as the worst years of the COVID-19 pandemic. We continued our vital missions of education, research, and outreach while working to protect the health of our entire campus community with policies based on science and medical data that saved lives on our campus and beyond. Not only did we fulfill our missions, but we went further, using time during the pandemic to look towards the future by engaging the campus in developing 3 strategic plans. One for the university as a whole, a second plan solely focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, and quite uniquely, but necessary given our past, an action-oriented plan focused on relationship violence and sexual misconduct. We educate more students and creative activities that impact the whole of society, address disparities in health across this state and the world, stand at the forefront of institutional sustainability, and do it all in a safe, welcoming, and inclusive environment that allows everyone to meet their full potential at Michigan State University's locations worldwide. All of this has been made possible by the outstanding leadership team I have been fortunate enough to recruit or retain at Michigan State University. Their work ethic and commitment to the university is extraordinary, and I thank them. So our plans are already being implemented. We've doubled down on student success by investing in more advisors and developing more programs designed to address gaps in graduation rates between student groups. And we have tackled years of neglect of our intramural and club sports facilities by working with students to develop and fund the Spartan Greens Project and a new health and wellness center that will mark a new era for well-being on campus. The long-standing dream of many generations of Spartans for a multicultural center is on the verge of becoming reality. We set a new record for annual fundraising and booked the largest single gift in Michigan State University's history. We have opened remarkable new facilities, including the amazing facility for rare isotope beams. We saw a rise in the U.S. News and World Report rankings to our highest level in 5 years, fueled by 40 programs in the top 25. We have set new records for applications and yielded the largest and most diverse first-year class in our history. This just scratches the surface of what you, our exceptional faculty and dedicated staff, have accomplished. And most importantly, with the engagement and support of all Spartans, we made progress on having a safer and more inclusive campus based on a culture of empathy and accountability. We recommitted the university to incorporating DEI in everything we do and created the Office of Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer to guide the implementation of our DEI strategic plan. On the Title IX front, we continue fulfilling and going beyond our resolution agreements by implementing sweeping changes to how we handle relationship violence and sexual misconduct, and by providing the resources to become a leader in trauma-informed approaches to every component of our Title IX process. There is still much work to be done, but there is campus-wide commitment to pushing these vital efforts forward. All of this is to say that despite the current turmoil, the fundamentals of the university are very strong. Presidents are transient, boards change, but the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, and what they stand for is the heart and soul of the university. The actions of the campus over the past month have shown the world that Michigan State University will not accept micromanagement by board members of the operations of this great institution, and that we will hold individuals, no matter what their rank, accountable for their actions. I am so proud and so grateful to have had the chance to serve with you over the past 3 years. And I know that you will continue to uphold these principles as you move forward into a bright future. Spartans will.
If you would like to rewatch any portion of that message or in its entirety, you can do that on our website, WILX.com. Now, this brings an end to a standoff between the president and the board that's been brewing for several months since the resignation of College of Business Dean Sanjay Gupta in April. The university says there were concerns over Gupta's leadership and that he failed to report Title IX related issues under MSU's mandatory reporting policies. There were reports a month ago that the trustees had given President Stanley a few days to resign or be fired. Stanley is the third university president to resign since 2018, following Luana Simon and John Engler. We're going to keep digging on this story. We'll have team coverage on News 10 at 5, 5:30, and 6, as well as on WILX.com and the WILX app.
We begin tonight with breaking news. As you first saw here on News 10, Michigan State University President Samuel Stanley says he is stepping down.
Stanley has been the president of the East Lansing School for 3 years. He shocked the campus with this morning's announcement. He says he tendered his resignation due to disagreements with the Michigan State Board of Trustees.
During the nearly 5-minute-long video, President Stanley outlined the reasons for his resignation and what he accomplished during his tenure. Take a listen.
Earlier today, I gave my contractually required 90-day notice of resignation to the Board of Trustees of Michigan State University. I know very well from the outpouring of support that I've had from students, staff, faculty, shared governance, alumni donors, affinity groups, and others that many of you will be profoundly disappointed by this decision. I am so proud and so grateful to have had the chance to serve with you over the past 3 years. And I know that you will continue to uphold these principles as you move forward into a bright future. Spartans will.
In a statement sent to News 10, the Board of Trustees said, quote, "The MSU Board of Trustees appreciates President Stanley's service over the past 3 years. President Stanley arrived at a difficult time and provided steady leadership to guide us forward while the entire world was experiencing severe disruption and uncertainty," unquote.
With President Stanley giving his 90-day notice, the university is now looking for its next leader. So far, an interim president has not been named. There are no formal plans yet to search for his permanent replacement. Samuel Stanley becomes the third full-time president to leave MSU since 2018. Luana Simon resigned in the wake of the Larry Nassar scandal. Former Michigan Governor John Engler was then named interim president. He also stepped down after controversy surrounding statements he made about survivors of the Nassar sex scandal.
Many students say President Stanley's announcement today took them by surprise. News 10's Tanaya Jordan is live on MSU's campus with their reaction tonight.
In a split. And I'm here at the MSU Rock, where students usually gather to show support and talk about what's important to them. As you can see behind me, there's nothing here. As the news of their president made its way through campus today, many students say they were left shocked. Other students say they're worried about how their school will move forward. Here's some of their reaction.
We all just found out. I heard from a friend back there like half an hour ago or so, and so we're all shocked.
So yeah, I saw it this morning and I was honestly a little surprised just because of everything happening. And throughout like COVID and stuff, I thought he did a really good job with like keeping everyone safe and like wearing masks and like quarantining people that like had COVID.
I was kind of surprised too, and I guess a little bit hurt. I actually did like him as a president. There was actually a few times I had reached out to him and he got back to me surprisingly. So yeah, I was definitely a little bit disappointed to see him go.
We'll hear from more faculty members coming up on News 10 at 6. Live in East Lansing, Tanaya Jordan, News 10.
All right, Tanaya, thank you. We're continuing to follow the latest developments on our special coverage, Trouble at the Top, coming up on News 10 at 5:30 and 6. You'll hear from lawmakers, and we'll have community reaction to today's resignation by MSU President Samuel Stanley.
Earlier today, I gave my contractually required 90-day notice of resignation to the Board of Trustees of Michigan State University.
A bombshell announcement today coming out of Michigan State University. Samuel Stanley now becomes the third president to resign from MSU since 2018.
He's leaving even though the Faculty Senate and the student government have publicly expressed their support, saying they want him to stay. News 10's Cody Butler joins us live from Cole's house tonight to lead off our team coverage. Cody.
Yeah, and David, the MSU Board of Trustees is now tasked with finding someone new to live here at Cole's house, where President Samuel Stanley has called home in the last 3 years. In a video posted online today, Stanley says he can't in good conscience continue serving as president when he, the faculty, and students have lost confidence in the board. He also highlighted accomplishments since May 2019, including getting through the COVID pandemic, launching 3 comprehensive plans for the university, increasing diversity, and responding to sexual violence on campus.
All of this is to say that despite the current turmoil, the fundamentals of the university are very strong. Presidents are transient, boards change, but the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, and what they stand for is the heart and soul of the university.
President Stanley's last day here at MSU is January 11th. Reporting live in East Lansing, Cody Butler, News 10.
Our team coverage continues tonight with what lawmakers are saying about the situation at Michigan State.
News 10's Claudia Sella is live at the Sparty statue with that part of our coverage. Claudia?
Some lawmakers are expressing their support of how President Stanley handled his time at MSU. We caught up with Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who graduated from MSU. She says that she's shocked by today's announcement.
I care first and foremost about the university. The university is an important part of our economy, an important part of our state. I've always found President Stanley to be wonderful to work with. They've been great partners to the state of Michigan as we have pitched investment here. So I'm concerned about it, both as a Spartan and as the governor of the state. They're going to need to have great leadership. I thought they had great leadership, and now obviously there will be a change there, but I'll be watching very closely.
President Stanley, and thank him for his hard work to lead MSU through some of its most difficult challenges, including guiding the school through the fallout of the Larry Nassar scandal and through the darkest days of the pandemic. The responsibility now falls to the Board of Trustees to show real leadership and to choose an interim president with the experience and management skills to make the transition as seamless as possible. Both lawmakers say that they will be paying close attention to what happens next. Live in East Lansing, Claudia Sella, News 10.
All right, Claudia, thank you. We will have more details on today's announcement from President Stanley later in this newscast. You can also read up on it and see video coverage on our website, WILX.com. Good evening. Michigan State University is once again looking for a new president. Samuel Stanley's resignation today makes him the 3rd president to step down in the last 4 years. Now, that announcement came in a video posted online this morning.
President Stanley ripped into the MSU Board of Trustees, saying he, along with the faculty, senate, and student government, have lost confidence in the board.
The actions of the campus over the past month have shown the world that Michigan State University will not accept micromanagement by board members of the operations of this great institution, and that we will hold individuals, no matter what their rank, accountable for their actions.
President Stanley is talking about how the university handled Sanjay Gupta's resignation.
The former business college dean stepped down in August after he reportedly did not report sexual harassment in a Title IX complaint. News 10's Cody Butler starts our team coverage live from campus tonight.
There were reports last month that the Board of Trustees was trying to fire Stanley and find someone else to live here at Cole's house because of that investigation. That's around the same time that the Board of Trustees also hired an outside law firm to look at that Title IX investigation. The Faculty Senate sent a letter to the Board of Trustees asking them to stop. The letter says the law firm was targeting people who wouldn't have much knowledge about the situation. It goes on to say the board is harming MSU's reputation. The Faculty Senate went as far as voting no confidence in the board. MSU student government did the same. Stanley says in his resignation video,
I'm so grateful to have had the chance to serve with you over the past 3 years. And I know that you will continue to uphold these principles as you move forward into a bright future.
Last month, an MSU spokesman told me that Stanley and the Board of Trustees were negotiating a new contract. Those talks are apparently over tonight with this announcement. Last year, Stanley's contract was extended into 2024. Reporting live in East Lansing, Cody Butler, News 10.
All right, Cody, thank you. So, what's the reaction from the MSU Board of Trustees after President Stanley's criticism?
For most of the day, it was silence, but just before we went on the air, the board put out a statement. News 10's Erin Bowling spent the day trying to track down individual trustees. She's live at the Hanna Administration Building tonight.
The board broke its silence with a statement that did not respond to Stanley saying he's lost faith in them. The statement says, quote, "The MSU Board of Trustees appreciates President Stanley's service over the past 3 years. President Stanley arrived at a difficult time and provided steady leadership to guide us forward while the entire world was experiencing severe disruption and uncertainty. The Board of Trustees will work cooperatively with President Stanley during the transition, and more details will be shared with the campus community as information is available." End quote. I spent the day calling, emailing, and knocking on the office doors of the trustees. Right now, the president's office is empty. The trustees are nowhere to be found. A few secretaries have told me the trustees are in meetings, but what meetings? We aren't sure. We're going to keep trying to talk to the trustees individually. The next Board of Trustees meeting is Friday, October 28th. Live in East Lansing, Aaron Bowling, News 10.
And we mentioned Samuel Stanley is the third MSU president to resign since 2018.
The other two stepped down because of their handlings of the Larry Nassar investigation. Luana Simon resigned in January of 2018. The trustees publicly backed her during the Nassar scandal, but pressure from the faculty and the public got to be too much. She was arraigned on criminal charges, but a judge later dismissed the case for lack of evidence. Simon was replaced on an interim basis by former Michigan Governor John Engler, who lasted 1 year. He brought heat on himself by making repeated comments about the Nassar survivors, including saying they were, quote, enjoying the spotlight. Engler stepped down shortly after the board scheduled a special meeting to fire him. One trustee called his time as president a, quote, reign of terror.